sports. You've got a future in hosting these type of things. I appreciate you bringing me to the table today, baby. The people need to hear what I've got to say.
Dude, I don't know if there's another GM that has more energy than Prater P.
That's right.
But I do sometimes question your loyalty to the league because you are a commissioner of another league. So
I'm loyal to anywhere that I have money, and I've got money on the line here. So I'm going to put my best foot forward. I do have to start things off by apologizing. I was drunk. I made a joke. Commissioner didn't like it. I forgot to fucking sit one of my players, make sure that doesn't happen again. But I am committed to trying to get that belt.
All right. Well, Prater, we're live and rolling on the John Davis Football League, aka Joe TV Power Rankings, again featuring Prater P. Let's just jump into it. Let's dive in. Give the people what they want.
All right. Well, where would you like me to start off? The top, the bottom, the middle?
No. Well, let me ask you this: every person that's been on here, they like to say that this league has multiple tiers. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I've got 3 tiers laid out in my research, and I put a lot of time and energy into this. I've got it separated as contenders, pay attention, and the pretenders. You don't want to be a pretender.
All right. Well, let's jump right into the pretenders then, because everybody wants to know what Prater P thinks is a pretender.
Well, to start things off, Team 12. Now let me preface with this: the pretenders is 12 through 9. So if you made the cut, you've got a chance to be successful this season. You're going to be pleased to hear this. I don't have you, Joe, at number 12. At number 12, I've got the Grim Reaper. And I'm going to keep it short. I don't want to waste too much time on the Grim Reaper, but Courtland Sutton is your best player. We'll see you next year. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep this train rolling. With all due respect, a great organization, but the truth is the truth. Now, number 11, it pains me because I do love you, but I've got you, the people's champ, at number 11.
Dude,
the reason being, you're a great manager, you're a great organization, historic. But Jonathan Taylor has been underwhelming this year. Matty Ice has thrown the ball too much. That's tough. He was, if I'm not mistaken, a first-round keeper for you this year.
No, it wasn't my first-round keeper, but he was a first-round keeper.
Yeah.
I stole him for cheap from the Grim Reaper. I think Courtland Sutton was a part of that trade.
Yeah. So something that might haunt me this year, I had the opportunity to send you Samuel from Washington, but I sent you Terry. That one might hurt me down the stretch. I rolled the dice. It didn't work out for me. So, Terry's been balling out. So I might regret that. We'll see. But, it's unfortunate. Jonathan Taylor hasn't been producing the way he's needed to. He's a big you went and got him. He's not doing his thing. Number 10, I've got the Viper. Breece Hall getting injured was beyond disappointing for the organization. If Breece Hall stayed healthy, he had a chance to compete this year. And then Kyle Pitts is the worst pick in draft history. He's a team killer. If you have Kyle Pitts on a fantasy football team, you might as well hang it up, try again next year. Not your fault, but Kyle Pitts just is not getting it done.
Yeah, I think Cozy made a trade with little scrap stars because I think he's anticipating keeping Breece Hall.
Yeah.
So I do think there's something there.
He's, planning for next year, which I like. Breece Hall's a great keeper next year, but for this season, he's not going to help you get the job done.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, I hate it, but, Austin 316, he's a beloved commissioner. I hate putting him in the pretenders category, but he didn't make the cut. I wanted to give him an opportunity as an 8 spot, but he won't put Tony in his lineup. He made all this noise about going and getting Kadarius Toney, and he's not starting the man. The man put up 19 points last week. He's projected 5 points this week. He's probably going to put up another 18 spot. Give that man some credit. He needs Kyler to become a top 5 quarterback to have a chance. And like I pointed out, understellar sad season for the commish, but the league will continue to thrive because he works hard at being the commissioner. The tip of the cap, much appreciated, but we'll see you next year also. This is where things start to get a little interesting, Joe. I've got the pay attention category. I think that most teams here have a very good shot at making the playoffs. This is where it gets tough. I wouldn't say here, but kind of 6 and up gets a little difficult. But number 8, I've got Goldberg's NWOs. I have him as a pay attention / pretender watch this week. It's unfortunate Devontae Adams left Green Bay. He just hasn't been producing the way people would have hoped. If Goldberg's NWOs loses this week and one of these pretenders wins, Goldberg might be a pretender come Monday next week. Tom Brady sucks. It's unfortunate. He's on the tail end of his career, but we're relying on Chris Godwin to be a contender, and Chris Godwin's just not getting the points that we need over there with Goldberg's. And then his team's just a little too top heavy. Capable of jumping up the ladder. High alert this week. Watch out, see what happens.
So Goldberg is, if he's correct on GroupMe, he's either the highest or second highest scoring team in fantasy, and you have him at number 8.
Yeah, let me go check that real quick. I was looking at some points this week. Let me see where I got some of this information from. There's 1, 2, 3,
he's not that high.
4. So he's the 5th highest scorer. There's some potential there, but I just don't see him getting the job done. He's relying on Chris Godwin, Tom Brady. I don't think that connection is going to get him to the promised land. I've got him as a, I got him in the right category. Pay attention. Anything can happen, but he's got to get some production from Chris Godwin and Tom Brady, and it's just not been happening.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. At number 7, I've got the game. The game.
Yeah.
It's a fun one. He's someone we want to watch at 4 and 6. I think I've got him at 7 because there's just too much talent in San Francisco. He's also got Deebo Samuel and George Kittle rostered playing at the same time. There's just too many mouths to feed over there with the addition of Christian McCaffrey. I just don't think that he's going to get the production out of those guys like he should. And he needs Lamar Jackson to start playing like Justin Fields to have a true chance, in my opinion.
All right, yeah.
What we doing?
I'm listening, Prater. We got some technical difficulties.
I see you making moves.
I'm always making moves.
We situated? You're going to give me a seizure.
My bad. I got to add Bethany's computer really quick.
Take your time. Do what you got to do. It's your world, baby.
We're just living
this is
in
Joe TV live.
Joe TV,
Things
baby.
happen when we're live.
Let me send her the invite real quick. Hey, I just want to say Travis is going to flip his shit when he sees that you have him at 8.
Well, that's fine. I didn't get any respect from his power rankings a couple weeks back, so I think he had me at 7, 8.
And listen, people could say Austin and I are pretenders. I'm just going to go on the record. The last person that called me a pretender got smacked and got their hopes and dreams crushed. And I just want you to know, I'm pretty sure I have the same record. Yeah, I have the same record as Lil Jon in my division, which is the weakest division of all 4. I'll say it. And I think I got a shot.
I mean, Lil Jon's got you by a smooth 290 points.
Yeah, don't look at that. That's irrelevant.
But you're trending. He's not. He lost last week. He got a dub last week, so.
Hey, winners eat.
That's the nice thing. At the end of the day, from top to bottom, there's not that much, in my opinion. Kind of credit to the way the league's been formatted and whatnot. There's not too much difference between, a pretender and a contender. With the trade deadline being a week away, a week and a half away, you make the right move, you get the right player, you trade away the right piece, anything is possible. So
absolutely.
No offense.
Let's go,
there should be
baby.
no
We're
offense
good.
taken. Anybody can win this year. It's up for grabs.
100%.
Who do I got next? I've got the.
Think you just won the game.
Oh yeah, I've got Rhino Scrap Stars at number 6.
Stop it.
And the reason why, hear me out. He's trending down because Cooper Kupp is a huge asset to the organization. Cooper Kupp is probably done for the rest of the season. It's unfortunate, but why would the Rams play Cooper Kupp again this season? Their season's over. It's the worst collapse of a championship football team of all time.
I would throw it up there with the Falcons when we lost Super Bowl and just shit the bed. So
yeah, but no one expects anything from the Falcons. It's unfortunate, but as an Atlanta sports fan, no one expects anything of us. If we do good, great. If we do poor, it was expected. There were high hopes and dreams for the Rams this year.
I want you to know you just rated 2 teams from 6 to 8, and most people that have been on this have rated those 2 teams in the top 4. So I love it. Bring the noise.
Hey, at the end of the day, there's no hard feelings. Facts are facts. Keep this on Joe TV so viewers can come watch this in a couple weeks from now. I know my way around the standings. I may not finish in first place, but I can read what's going on in the league. Also, if it weren't for Justin Fields, I think the Scrap Stars would be totally toasted. Justin Fields has put up 160 points the last 4 weeks, 180 points. Huge asset to have. I don't think he's going to be able to keep that going. I might be a little biased in saying this, but Justin Fields is coming to Atlanta. I'm going to be at the game Sunday. I don't know if he's going to put up that many points against a stout Falcons defense.
You heard what you're saying is don't take the money line.
I'm going to take the Falcons money line and probably, lose a few dollars, but I can't bet against the Birds.
I feel that.
I can't bet against the Birds. I won't put them in my parlay, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, losing Cooper Kupp is unfortunate. He still has a very, very good football team. He's got Mike Evans on the bench right now. Mike Evans has too many mouths to be fed in Tampa Bay. He does have a good running back in Kenneth Walker, but I don't think he is going to be a championship contender this year. Does he make the playoffs? Absolutely. I think there's better football teams out there than the Scrap Stars. With all due respect.
Scrap Stars are catching the L this week. I might have a half a quarterback, but my boys are rallying. So,
are you playing the Scrap Stars?
I'm playing the Scrap Stars.
Ooh, game of the week alert! Game of the week alert!
Actually, the game of the week is Holcomb versus Austin.
I think Holcomb beats Austin handedly. Holcomb's trending in ways I never would have seen coming. And I hate it. He beat me this week. I'm a little biased, but he's got a decent team. You're going to be surprised to see where I got Mr. Holcomb.
So we're at 5?
So we're at 5. I got the gravy train. Leonard Fournette getting injured. Hear me out. Wait. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm not doing this for comedy purposes. He's trending downward. I also beat him 118 to 105 2 weeks ago. He's trending down.
He's lost 3 straight.
Yeah, so he's trending. He was this powerhouse in the league. He had respect, but at the end of the day, you got to keep eating, and he's not eating right now. Leonard Fournette's hurt. Ezekiel Elliott is a bum. He's just not the same player he used to be. I love the guy. Great personality. Love listening to his interviews, but on field, he doesn't get the job done. I think he's way too top heavy, and he's trending down towards pretender. He blew his load way too early. I feel for him, but at the end of the day, you just got to manage right, and you got to, make trades timely, and he just hasn't done enough to keep the steam going.
I feel that. I think he got the big trade with me, and then he coasted.
Yeah, you can't coast. You can't sleep on fantasy. There's too many people at play here. I don't think Joe sleeps between Thursday and Sunday. I think Gravy Train takes naps a few too many times during the week. At the end of the day, he's a good football team, great guy. It's unfortunate to see.
Hey, you heard it here first.
So this is the biggest announcement of the day. Number 4 is Team Prater. I am a buyer. I was talking about getting rid of Austin Eckler. He's staying at home. I am a buyer. If you're interested in getting a solid first-round draft pick next year, let's chat. Let's chat.
I've asked everybody on here, what are you looking for? Like what are you on the shop for?
I need a wide receiver. I need a solid wide receiver. DK Metcalf's out this week. I'm very pleased with my running backs: Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, James Conner. They're getting the job done. But I need wide receiver help. I'm lucky DK's coming back. But I've got Mike Williams and Allen Robinson. Mike Williams is coming off that knee injury. I don't know how he's going to produce next week, if he's even going to play next week. So, really need wide receiver help. If you're looking to, move up in the draft next year, I'm open to making things happen.
You don't think Allen Robinson's going to get the job done now with Cooper Kupp out?
He hasn't done it all season. The Rams suck. I'd like to be optimistic and think he can get it done, but he should get more targets. Absolutely. What's the deal with Matt Stafford? He had a head injury. How quick are they going to be to bring him out? I think their season's done, so we just have to wait and see.
Fair.
I feel like I was saying, I think I'm one piece short of being great. There's a laundry list of positivity here. I don't want to bore the viewers. I love my organization. I just need to make a move, and I think I'm a contender. Not quite there yet, but we're trending. So that brings us to number 3. This is where shit gets dicey. I changed my 1, 2, and 3 probably 6 different times. At number 3, I've got Holcomb.
Bring the noise.
I've got Holcomb, and he probably never would have thought he'd hear himself as a contender. He needs to make a move. I don't know if he has made a move with the draft pick yet. People are going to say, oh, he beat you this week. You're giving him credit. I love his team. I just hate his Marcus Mariota, Cordero Patterson duo. I think he's got great pieces with Tyreek Hill, Josh Jacobs, Patrick Mahomes. If I was Holcomb, I'd go get a quarterback or another running back. I think Marcus Mariota is serviceable. But I love his football team. He's winning football games. He had the second most points this week.
Yeah.
I ran into a tough opponent, but I think he's trending upwards big time. At number 2, I've got Mr. Andy 3 Cup Debo's nuts. I've got him there because he's trending. He's got a 2-game win streak, and he's got Justin Jefferson, who might have made the craziest catch I've ever seen in my life. But that dude just doesn't stop performing. He's got Travis Kelce, who's good for a smooth 18 points every week. Tyler Lockett, great wide receiver. He needs help at running back position. So I think every team from 8 and up can be a contender if they make the right move over the next week and a half. I think these 3 teams could solidify a championship if they make the right move and it pays off correctly.
The issue is technically speaking, the only team that's out of it is Butts' team, the Undertaker.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, same stupid shit. But I think outside him.
Yeah, outside of him, the next lowest is at 4 and 6.
Which is the game, which I have more wins than him, Holcomb, and Justin, just saying. But that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. So I just think it's gonna be super tough. Like, someone's gonna have to put their salesman cap on and convince a GM that their season's over to get that piece, because technically everybody's still in it.
Well, here's the thing. I think the trade deadline, if I'm not mistaken, is the 24th.
It's close.
So I think that everyone going into this week is going to keep their teams kind of tight. And I think if one of those 4 and 6 teams takes an L this week, they might be a good suitor to become a seller and look at next season. But if a 4 and 6 team loses this week and Zach Butts gets a W, you better be careful. You don't want to get last place in the prestigious NWO.
Hey, what do you think the punishment should be? I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but
I said it at draft day. I want to see the 9x9x9 challenge. I want to go to a Braves game with the boys. I want to see someone try their best to put down 9 beers and 9 hot dogs in 9 innings.
I'm about it.
I love to eat. I love to drink. I couldn't do it. I'd be puking my brains out by the 7th inning. And everyone, I've never seen anyone do it, but I've heard stories. I've never heard of someone coming close to completing that. What are your thoughts?
I love the idea of stand-up comedy.
I love that one too. That's a fun one.
I think that one's good, clean fun. It doesn't hurt the personal image.
It could if they're not careful with what they write.
Correct, but I think the league should be able to write the jokes.
As long as they're safe, politically correct, I love that idea.
Yeah,
I love that idea. Or the league puts together jokes and they have to somehow put that together in a 5-minute monologue. That'd be a lot of fun. The laughing.
The monologue could even be about how they suck at fantasy.
That's funny in and of itself.
Yeah.
Good, clean.
Who we got number 1? Who's that dude?
Well, that leaves us with the Heartbreak Kid.
Oh my God! Someone else believes in the Heartbreak Kid.
That leaves us with the Heartbreak Kid. He just lost this week, but he's got the third most points in the league. I really do think he's a contender. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, just came back from serving a suspension a few weeks ago. Stephon Diggs, arguably one of the best wide receivers in the game. Saquon Barkley, one of the best running backs in the game. At the end of the day, just as easily as Russell Wilson ruined the Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson could ruin the Heartbreak Kid. Russell Wilson is very, very bad. I don't know if he can go find another quarterback, but again, I think he's one good move away from truly solidifying himself as a champion.
The Heartbreak Kid, mentioned it last week. He is a full-time buyer, and he's willing to spend some draft picks. I think this week's really going to show us who's about it, because selling that first-round pick ain't easy. I think you and I have both done it, right?
I did it last year. At the end of the day, I forget how my season kind of came down, but I saw myself as becoming a playoff team, and if I'm a playoff team, I want to put my best foot forward. At the end of the day, I've got Deshaun Watson. He's going to be a keeper next year. I forget. Can we keep 1 or 2 guys?
One guy.
One guy. So
one guy for 2. One guy 3 years.
Yeah. So, also for me, I didn't even speak on this. If I can stay a playoff contention team, don't let Deshaun Watson come into the mix and be the Deshaun Watson we all knew about.
But that preseason showing was pretty rough. So
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm optimistic. We have to wait and see. My season's not relying on Deshaun Watson. Hopefully he comes out as a great player, but I still need another piece to make something happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my whole thought process is, at the end of the day, we can always figure out next year. If you got an opportunity to make the playoffs, you got to do what you can to try and win the whole thing. It's only 6 teams that make it. Anything can happen in a playoff game. And
again, we have 4 games left, and everybody has a shot. So I wouldn't be shocked to. I'm not counting a pretender out of your list.
No, like I said, it was tough. Realistically, the only team that doesn't have a chance is the Grim Reaper. It's unfortunate. You don't win football if your best player is Cortland Sutton. It doesn't happen. I don't know if that was by design, but that's hard to put together a team like that. Rest in peace, Grim Reaper. We'll see you next year, but you are a move away from, having a shot at the playoffs. Austin is. Anything can happen. We just have to see how things play out. And like you said, I think this week is going to be a huge proponent to how teams want to move forward, given how their record and outlook looks like.
Yeah. If I can squeak something in, I'm not willing to sell a first round pick, but I'll damn if I won't sell like a 5 through 8 just to get a mid-tier piece, just to keep it close.
Let the league know I will sell a first round draft pick. I'm serious. I'm serious about winning. Joe asked me if I was a pretender to the league at the beginning of this conversation. I'm serious. I mean business.
Speaking of trades, this league has a bunch of people that like to trade, make offers. Who sends the worst trade proposals in the league?
Oh man, I honestly I can't speak on that. I've received so many pending moves and I go look at it and I just decline it. I've probably received 10 trades that are just jaw-dropping ridiculous. But I have to be honest, I sent Holcomb a ridiculous trade last week. You know, at the end of the day, the worst thing somebody can do is press the reject button. So I respect it. Crazier things have happened. At the end of the day, I'm in a league. I'm in 2 leagues. I used to be in 3 leagues. My other league, there's 14 guys, so 2 more than this league. Everyone loves football just as much as this league, but there's nowhere near as much trading involved in that league. I love how hungry people are to make moves in this league. It makes it so much more fun, entertaining. The bullshit and going back and forth on the group meet. You know, keep the stupid trades coming. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just going to press the reject button. And if you catch me on a drunk evening, I might press accept. You never know.
Unless you're in the Dominican, then you don't even talk about it.
And then I don't talk about it. Well, I think I missed out on an opportunity with Holcomb down there. I forget what he wanted to trade. We were talking about a trade. I was wasted. I said, let me do it tomorrow. And the next day I went and looked at it. I thought it was a pretty favorable trade in my direction. I forget the pieces that were in play, but he moved the guy that I wanted, and I missed out on an opportunity. If you want to make something happen, you got to make it happen because everyone's trying to make moves.
Everybody. I've already asked this. So the biggest thing is your commitment to the league because you're the commissioner of another one. So we understand how hard it is to be a commissioner. But since you are a commissioner, how could our commissioners improve in this league?
I honestly, I've got nothing that I would say that they can do. They do a very good job of it. A lot of the stuff that we do in our league, we've kind of pulled from this league. Integrity is the biggest piece. We've mirrored a lot of our trade rules, our keeper rules from this league. At the end of the day, we'll probably make some new rules in our league next year. Right now, you can trade upwards of 2 draft picks, but things kind of get out of hand and people can kind of buy their way back into the hunt. So integrity is a big piece, and I think the commissioners of this league have always kept integrity at the top, and that creates a competitive league. It keeps things fun. It keeps things entertaining, and I think that's why there's so much competitiveness from the top to bottom. At the end of the day, we've got 4 weeks left, and 11 teams can make the playoffs out of 12 teams. I think a lot of that has to do with the way the commissioner structured the league. So tip of the cap.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. What they could do, they could mandate you being on 2 nights a week instead of just one. Come up with another segment. Come up with another segment. I'm a big fan of the Joe TV.
I'm talking to a fellow GM who I think is pretty entertaining that would crush this with me. Obviously, this is a first-year thing, so I think there's going to be some additions to start competing with the fancy football clans and everything. So this is the early stages of us just learning to crawl. I got a full upstairs in the new house dedicated to Joe TVs coming next year.
I love it. And here's a recommendation. At the end of the day, love what we've got going on. Love what you put together. You've got ESPN and Fox Sports. They're the 2 rivals in, sports talk. Maybe you get, a Joe TV and an Austin TV. You get a little competition. One guy Tuesday, one guy Thursday. Talk smack about each other. I'm just throwing stuff out there. This is fun. This is cool. You can kind of go anywhere, but you do have to start small, and it's exciting. It's exciting and a blessing to be asked to be on Joe TV.
Well, I think my favorite thing is it gives everybody an opportunity to learn more about the GMs because we don't get a ton of exposure to one another. So just hearing people's personalities, what they think of the power rankings, what they think about the league, I think it goes a long way.
And one thing, you're bringing it up now. At the end of the day, I know the folks in this league from baseball at GGC. But one thing that would be cool, it is a great group of people. It's always fun to get together for the draft, go golfing, but maybe implement, a mid-season golf outing. Anyone who's in town, anyone who wants to come to town, that's something easy to put together, but it is a good group of guys. It's all fun and games. Some people get butt hurt from time to time. That's part of it. But, maybe add an event in there to, get the whole group together. Cause if I'm not mistaken, most people are here in Atlanta, right? Minus two people.
I think the majority are. Well, you got Hunter and Cole in Tennessee. I think Sappy might be in Tennessee, and then you got Cozy in Maryland. But Tennessee's a short drive. I would like to see the league come together for a championship. I think it would be respectful to have the former champion hand the belt over, so that when we have draft day, the new champions walking in with the belt.
I do like that as well. And, shit, at the end of the day, whether it's a playoff weekend, whatever, maybe plan for whoever's available to do so. Go watch Sunday football in Tennessee, Nashville, Atlanta, whatever it may be. Make a weekend out of it. This league is still young. It's been around for, 8 years or whatever?
I think we just hit 10.
10 years, excuse me. 8 for me. I got kicked out early on in the beginning of all of this, but I'm back. But, yeah, at the end of the day, tradition is fun. We used to all play sports, but this is the shit that keeps us competitive. Add any fun that you can to the league. I support 110%.
Yeah, I'd like to say that golf was competitive, but Andy and I pretty much walked away with that one.
Yeah, Austin and I were done at the turn. That was kind of depressing. And if I'm not mistaken, it was hot as shit. I was ready to get out of there, and I was hungover. It was not a fun day. It was good to see the boys, but I was not feeling my best.
I feel you. Well, Prater, before we bounce, is there anything else you'd like to say to the league?
Nah, it was a pleasure bringing me out on this beautiful cold Tuesday night in Atlanta. You got me away from doing Christmas decorations for a little bit. Fiance's not too pleased with you, but she supports it.
Hey, just no, I'm coming to France. So
come on with it. Come on with it. But nah, this was fun. I would love to be back. Maybe if I'm a playoff contender, I can come back in a couple weeks. But nah, it's an amazing league, and trying to do what I can to become a champion. If you want a first round draft pick next year, let's chat. I'm serious about that, and excited to see how things shake up this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, Prater, best of luck, whoever you're playing this week. And I look forward to getting some reviews in the chat when we post this video.
Post it up. It was fun. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, baby. Talk to you later.
All right. Take it easy.